Yo, what's going on, guys? Of course, I forgot the adapter for my microphone, so hopefully the audio doesn't sound bad. I'm visiting my folks. And we're hearing from David Aldridge and Josh Robbins of The Athletic that the Wizards have trade offers officially, and we know what the trade offers are from the Heat and Suns. That's the finalist. That's where he's going. The Miami Heat have offered Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson, along with multiple future first-round picks. We assume one of those picks is the number 18 pick. We know that the Wizards do want Nikola Jovic and or Haywood Highsmith included in the deal, while the Suns have multiple offers on the table. Their first offer is centered around 24-year-old center DeAndre Ayton, which right there, with the DeAndre Ayton one, you're getting a young guy who you can build around. DeAndre Ayton's making about $10 million less than Bradley Beal is currently, so you really wouldn't have to pair up much. And the Wizards either could decide to keep DeAndre Ayton on because they want him to be one of their franchise cornerstones, or they could call up another team that has cap space. We know the Pacers, the Thunder, the Spurs have cap space. I'm not saying that they would trade for that guy. We know the Blazers have cap space. Those are all teams that they could add as a third team. But what we know is the three trade offers they have: the Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry with the 18th pick, and probably two other firsts, maybe. While the Suns have the first package is around DeAndre Ayton, and the second package is Chris Paul and Landry Shamet. The Chris Paul and Landry Shamet give you cap space. The DeAndre Ayton gives you a promising young player that still has potential. The Heat give you some draft picks, maybe one or two young guys in Haywood Highsmith and Nikola Jovic, and Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry, with Kyle Lowry being an expiring contract, and Duncan Robinson, if you play him, maybe he can turn into a situation where he's already rebuilt some of his trade value through the playoff run, but maybe he can even rebuild it more, that he actually becomes a tradable contract down the road. So the decision that President Michael Winger and new general manager Will Dawkins have to decide is, do you take the Miami Heat offer, which will give you some cap space down the road once Kyle Lowry contract gets off the books? You probably would buy him out and you'd get some draft picks and young players. Or do you take the Suns deal where you either get DeAndre Ayton, who arguably has still potential to unlock where you can be an all-star player maybe, and you get second round picks. And for anyone who thinks these trade offers are underwhelming, it's because if they had traded him before they signed the deal, we would have gotten way better rebuilding deals, because that was a guy who was averaging 31 points a game. We would have gotten young players, cap flexibility, and draft picks. But because he signed this max and he insisted on a no trade clause, we have no leverage. So it's not out of the question that Beal could just say, I'm going to Miami, but not Phoenix, or I'll go to Phoenix, but not Miami. The Miami had better hope their preferred deal is also Beal's preferred deal. That's basically the big thing right here. Okay, they have to agree. And there is that in the Ayton Center deal, like I said, assuming he's not routed elsewhere in a 3-team, the Wizards would gain a promising young center on a pretty big deal while getting rid of themselves of Beal's even more bad deal. The Heat deal around Lowry, Robinson, and picks would create cap flexibility and some draft capital. A deal with Tyler Hero would bring in more talent, but the Heat don't want to include. So when we go and look at this, I think it becomes interesting, because does Washington try to max out the picks that they can take from Miami, or do you just try to max out the assets you can get? And do you trade somebody like a Delon Wright or a Monte Morris or Daniel Gafford? I've alluded to, like, Kristaps Porzingis could be signed and traded, or picked up his player option and included in a trade. Do you trade Corey Kispert or Denny Avdia? I don't want to do that, but that's something that David Aldridge and Josh Robinson. And we've been a team that's been stuck in the middle. So, and the big thing is, what are we doing about Kuzma and Porzingis? So the thing is, and I personally see that it's going to be interesting what you do with them right there is, okay, you get yourself Aiden, who could be an athletic rim running, big rebounding big, who's 24 years old, 7 foot tall. But I think this new group wants to blow it up and take it as far down to the studs as it can. And the best way to do that would be by taking the Miami offer, middling through it, collect as many picks from the Heat, potentially a third team at it, and call it a day. But as intriguing as DeAndre Ayton would be to build around, making that deal would tie Washington again to a mid-level rebuild. Whether or not they re-sign Kuzma and or Porzingis, they likely have to run at least a good chunk of last year's team back. And I don't think Winger, Dawkins, or Schlink want to do that. Writes David Aldridge to close out this story. And I agree, guys. Let me hear your thoughts down below in the comments section. What do you think they'll do? But that's the video from me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. If there was anything else you guys would have liked to have heard, let me know. And I'm going to go now. Peace out, everybody. Bye.